everybody, this is your host, Nick. And today we have the most Chinese overdrive, that is a clone of the Klon Centaur, being the Divine Knight Overdrive. The reason I call this the most Chinese one ever is there is a mistranslation that you may have noticed, but it is also the greatest pedal ever now, because instead of treble we have Freble. As the Chinese realizes, going to the American market, they have to appeal to freedom, so we have Freble instead of treble. Such is life. Anyways, so the original tone was just on the Roland Gaia II, and the tone was. And then with the Freble and all the other bits engaged, we have. So it gives it a pretty decent boost and a lot of coloration, as the Freble is very neat instead of treble. So moving on with the Freble, we have the normal volume, gain, and Freble, and we have we can have volume, feign, and Freble with the Divine Fight Overdrive, and we have the fin and Fout, and we are working on the Roland via Foo. I'm just going to keep putting F's in front of everything until someone puts an F in the chat for the death of translations. I don't know which translation program they used, if it was Google Translate or one of the other ones. If they pay for it, I hope they get a refund. Anyways, it's funny. Even though it's just a 3-knob clone, I was going to originally skip this one, as I have more than enough very cheap Chinese 3D clones. Well, 3-knob clones of the Klon. But this one was so hilarious with Freble that I had to buy it, just to show it off. And surprisingly enough, it actually does work pretty decently. Anyway, so let's just go ahead with the knobs, and I'm just going to do the same tone. Just we'll turn Freble all the way down, and gain all the way down, and volume to 50%. Fanfaring with Freble, or with gain. I'm going to stop that before it gets really annoying. I'm already annoying enough, and I'm about to get something thrown at me if I continue that. Better make it count. Better kill me in one shot if you're going to try and hit me. Anyways, let's start with gain. As you can hear, this one seems to have a little bit more gain than what we would usually expect out of the basic 3 knob. So I don't know what their circuit is. I did open it up and look at it, and they did have stuff within it. It's actually kind of funny. It was, what they have in it? It was sealed with a lot of foam, actually, which I had to pull out to actually view the boards, but I thought that was pretty hilarious. Anyways, if I go and check for noise, we have the volume up, gain up. You can hear a little bit there. And if you hear right here, it does the same thing that the cow lines did, where you can sort of wiggle the noise. Funny. Now with Freble, of course, we get a little bit more static with the Freble. And about right here is quiet. Now, my take on this, which is a little bit more nuanced, is I remember the cow lines had it too, and I can demonstrate this just by playing. And we have this just like we could do this. Now, I don't know if y'all can hear it, but I can see on my waveforms, when we get to that certain point right there, it seems to, specifically right here, where that little crunch is, because I'm watching my waveforms, that when playing it while having this solid signal going through it, seems to really start cutting off the low ends and then pushing it more towards that mids and highs, because I can even see there's like a flat cutoff there. So that might be within their circuitry or whatever they're doing for their clipping mode there to get that higher gain. But who knows? It's just funny how I can find similarities between them. And I mean, y'all know the Chinese market, or if you don't, the basic thing is usually one person will make a board and then the rest of them will start copying it. You have your main people out there that all sort of quote unquote share or steal from each other, whichever way you want to put it. Yes, it's a very one of the funniest ones, which if you find me around the place, I am some places. I showed this to Mike Forrester, which he's a friend of the channel. The funny thing is, I found a clone of a clone of a clone, because I found the Demon Effects, which that is a clone of a Klon Centaur, as we already know. I've reviewed that one already. And I found the clone of the Demon Effects, which looks slightly worse than the Demon Effects, like they didn't even use proper screws or anything like that. And then I found the clone of the Demon Effects. So we have Cloneception, 3 clones down of all the same board that was originally a clone. And the last one looked really bad. It was fake germanium diodes. They claimed it was germanium, but it was the ultra frosted glass. Every single solder joint looked horrific. The circuit board had a very much lower substrate on it, so it looked more neon green and very thin and all that. It was probably like one of the worst boards I've ever seen out there. The worst board I've seen thus far, actually, I forgot the brand name, but they literally used hot glue over the solder joints to hold the wires in. I'm not reviewing that one because I'd still like my stuff to slightly work to be able to use it, and plus they still wanted $75 from that off of AliExpress, and with tariffs and all that too, I'm not giving money for that. That costs more than a cheap one I can get off of Amazon that isn't going to be using hot glue on the joints. Horrible. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and find another tone, and then we're going to do some playing, and we'll get into the points. So that was a little bit of playing. The original tone was just simply not much to it. It was a little bit of a sweep. I was using the emotional pad on the Roland Gaia II just to get a little bit extra in there. Because when I have it on, especially with the boost, because I did the volume a little bit more at the end, it turns into very nice. So before we get into the points, I first want to mention still that this channel is sponsored by DevCloud. DevCloud is a small family-run business, and they are very responsive to their customer base. Smaller boutique shops, they can get a lot more in that many other places can't, as they can go and talk to actual smaller builders, which is very nice of them. Very good people. I was able to buy from them before they became a sponsor. Thank you. And I will go ahead and continue to recommend them regardless of what happens, as they are a very good customer service team, and they have, as a time of filming, over 600 positive reviews. Go ahead and support small businesses, and go ahead and check them out. Thank you for sponsoring the video, and back to the video. Now for the points. Build quality. The coloration and like all the other stuff, like some people don't like bright colors, but like the I don't know what, I forgot what it's called, but everything about it feels solid. I don't think the paint's going to come off anytime soon. The switches feel solid. The knobs are just knobs, nothing special. The fact it says Freble gives it 20 extra points, so the build quality is going to be 24 out of 5. The actual tone, while it does have that weird little scratchiness and the shuffling back and forth when you put the gain pretty high, I don't have that much noise, but while it hits there, it does kill the lows a little bit. So I don't know what the circuit is, but I'm not going to give it bad or good. It is still just a basic 3-knob Klon clone, and it was very cheap. It was within the $30 range, if I'm remembering correctly. But as it sits, it's again 3.5 out of 5, as with every single 3-knob Klon tone, unless there is something wrong with it. There is nothing wrong with this. It's just it's particular of this circuit. So final score out of 5 will just be, we'll just do 3.78 out of 5, or in reality, as John Cena would say, big chilling out of 5. Thank you. Anyways, this has been your host, Nick. Go ahead and like the video just for helping me out in the algorithm, and go ahead and leave a comment if any of you have ever heard of the Freble before instead of treble, as this is now the first Freble out there. I will not take arguments with that, because I have decided I'm the main character and the only one who has ever found the Freble. Go ahead and subscribe, as it does help out with the channel and just seeing me grow and doing whatever else is going on here, as even though we are within the Clone Calamity series, in between the seasons I will be taking breaks from this and doing a lot more. I am also working on an album, and go ahead and share this video around if you know anyone else who really likes synths, clones, and other things out there, as who even knows where things are going. Awesome. Also, leave a comment if there is any other clones you think I have not found yet. As you can see, I am truly finding ones that no one has ever heard of, possibly. And currently, as of filming, I have over 80 clones that I will have to get through to finish this series. Which, at the end of the series, of course, I am putting them all in the same effects chain, and we are going to make the most clone sound ever. That'll be fun. I need to buy more Chalk's power. Anyways, this has been your host, Mick. Thanks for watching. Bye.